to find yourself.
Istanbul offers great universities and the lifestyle is really amazing here.
So I live at the dorms at Maltepe University and I'm really happy with it. There's a cleaning service every few days and then there's the library nearby which is open 24/7.
My first impression when I came was like, it's huge. You have everything in one place.
When you first come to Maltepe University, you don't know where what is and you're like, oh my God, I need help. Guess what? You're not alone. There is the international office people over there. They're like family. They're very helpful and they're always there for you.
Istanbul is the perfect mixture between ancient and modern. Coming into this city helps me discover myself, learn about so many different cultures, learning about the world, which will help me in writing future books.
At Maltepe University, we have a lot of research centers. Because of that, we have the ability to participate in a lot of international projects.
Here at Maltepe University, the education consists of both practical and theoretical. We get the opportunity to practice everything we learn in class in real life. So after we graduate, we have a degree and we can work all over the world.
People come to Istanbul all the time, but what they really miss when they visit are the antique shops, which contain thousands of years of memories and also a thread of the modern future.
I like to use every minute and just get out and hop on the ferry and just go from the Asian side to the European side and just enjoy the wonderful weather with the wonderful Bosphorus behind me and just enjoying the moment of Istanbul.
Istanbul is very beautiful with great culture.
This city is the symbol of diversity. Come and study at Maltepe University.
Come here and feel like you're home.
Good afternoon. I'm Selin Yıldız, the moderator of this session. And it's the last session about medicine today. And all presentations should be max 10 minutes and 5 minutes are for discussions and questions. And today's first presentation is titled Delivery in Pregnant Women and Vaccinate Against COVID-19, presented by Mehdi Turkey. Welcome, Mehdi. We are ready to listen. You can start whenever you're ready.
Yeah, very warm good evening to dear audience and the respected management. I am Mehdi Tariq from Kyrgyz State Medical Academy. Now I am going to present my topic, delivery of pregnancy against the vaccinated women in 2019. Now we are here to presenting why the vaccination is necessary and what it does work and does it effective or not in the woman who is getting pregnancy and who has been vaccinated earlier, or they can get vaccinated during pregnancy or not. So that the purpose of to study of that, they are the course of labor of pregnant women and there any complications occurs or not, who is vaccinated. So that's I had done a research from the MGM hospital, that means Manju Geeta Misra Hospital and Research Center, that is situated in Patna, Bihar, in India, where I had done their research for the 2 months in the February and March 2021. There I had studied for some patient who has compared to their maternity and their delivery. For that I had total number of patients selected 427. Out of that 116 is vaccinated and the rest of 311 is unvaccinated. 116 is a very few number, that's we know, but that's the time of vaccination is a very new thing for the all women and the whole world. So they had scared and some people don't want to vaccinated because they are scared from the pregnancy and they are scared from they may be might be infected or they might be complications, so that they can't get vaccinated. Then randomly after that we had selected the patient from vaccinated or unvaccinated. Each of their group we had selected 16 patients. The main group of their 16 patient that is vaccinated, we are further get their information, and I got that their information. 10 of the pregnant women who is taken vaccinated from pregnancy, and one in their get in first trimester, and there are 20 out of and then 5 patient who is get vaccinated in their 12 weeks of their gestational age. So that's the further study I had get, and their age of their patient mostly most of the age of the patient is 28 years old, and their main group has 19 to 34 years age of that groups. She has gotten vaccinated, and then we have to get that, so the how much complications occurs in there, and how much patient have to be complicated. There is mostly no complications, but we will go further why they had be vaccinated or not to be vaccinated. The main group of the patient, 50%, they got all clear, they don't have any contraindications, and that's but after that they are of the remaining 37.5% of the control group, they goes for the cesarean section who has not vaccinated. That means their vaccination is necessary, and vaccination doesn't affect any pregnancy and any duration of the pregnancy and any complications. There we had studies some cases like that. In complications occurs blood loss, labor duration increases, and labor pain increases, and cesarean section needed or not. And that's why there we got from the patient control group of the 12%. That means 12% is a very few number of that out of their 116. But we will go to see there the in percentage, they may be the 12%. That will be the very high for that. And their cesarean section also 37.5% who has not getted vaccinated, but their cesarean section in the vaccinated group, they are only 25% of the patient. And the patient who is vaccinated, they have only complications of the 12.5%. That means in, if we see the number, there are only 2 patients who got their complications in vaccinated person. That is the normal vaccination, they has gone for the PPH, that means the postpartum hemorrhage. And there, if we will go for the conclusions of that, there we had studied and researched on there are two types of vaccine, Covishield and Covaxin. They all are the vaccines. That means Covaxin is be presented and manufactured in Bharat Indian, but the Covishield is manufactured in Pfizer and Oxford University. So that's there are no difference between that on the pregnancy effect, but their mechanism of working is to be the difference, so that the vaccination doesn't affect the pregnancy and no any complications cause. So we can take vaccination, and we all have to be given vaccinated during pregnancy. We can give, or before pregnancy who have to conceive pregnancy, and at the time of the birth we can also vaccinate the patient. Thanks for your paying attention regard Tariq Mehdi, and I am also very thankful to this platform to presenting me at such a big, huge my work. Thanks.
Thanks, Mehdi, for your presentation. Is there any questions?
No, thanks, man.
If not, we can continue with Ezgibo's presentation, which is entitled The Physiological Effects on COVID-19 and the Pandemic on Different Age Groups. And if you are ready, we can start.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I would like to sincerely greet everyone. I'm glad to be here. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ezgi Boz. I'm currently a medical student at Maltepe University. It's my first year. I will be presenting the project in behalf of my other whose names were written in this page. My presentation will be about the psychological effects of COVID-19 and the pandemic on different age groups. COVID-19 pandemic has produced an unprecedented impact on all aspects of life globally, especially on the mental health of individuals. Effects of the pandemic on the mental health has been associated to the isolation. In many countries, scientists did research on how COVID-19 pandemic and related isolation affected mental health of the individuals in terms of anxiety, fear of death, depression, and unhappiness relation with COVID-19. The aim of the study is to investigate the possible psychological impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on people with different ages. For this purpose, a questionnaire was prepared and participants' ages were divided into 3 groups. Now I want to share with you our questions which were in our questionnaire. Our first question is about their gender and the second one is about their ages. They selected which age group is suitable for them. Group 1 is for those between 18 and 99. Group 2 is for those between 30 and 44. And group 3 is for those between 45 and 60. Third question is about psychological effects that appeared during pandemic. Their options were fear of death, fear of loneliness, insomnia, lack of concentration, pessimism, and loss of appetite. Question 4 is about psychological effects that getting worse. Our options were same as the question 3. Fifth question is about whether they experience any psychological effect or not. Question 6 is about who they are worried about, themselves, their families, or both. Other questions were also yes or no questions. Seventh question is about after being vaccinated, if they feel less suffocating. Question is about whether they think they have COVID-19 whenever they feel any symptom of any diseases. And ninth question is about if they have any fear of microbe after confronted with pandemic period when there is a person who coughing or sneezing or right after touching any surface outside, etc. Question 10 is about if they feel any antisocial or decline in communication skills. And lastly, the question 11 is about any addiction to start or to become more serious after pandemic period. The total number of participants were 219 people. According to our research, the first, second, and third age groups stated that the feeling of pessimism appeared and increased the most as a result of COVID-19. For group 1, it is 38%. For group 2, it is 58%. And for group 3, it is 61%. While the first age group was the most worried about their family having COVID-19, the second and the third age groups were worried about both their family and themselves. For group 1, 53% of the participants were mostly concerned about their family's health. Also for group 2, 63% of participants were worried about both themselves and their family's health. And for group 3, 73% of the participants were worried about also their families and their health. Mostly the psychological effects of COVID-19 decreased after vaccines were found in all age groups. These values for group 1 is 55%, for group 2 is 54%, and for group 3 is 70%. Generally, it was observed that the fear of microbes and hesitate over socializing was started in all age groups as a result of COVID-19. We can say that as looking at the table, more than half of participants from each age groups that they have fear of microbe and also they hesitate over socializing after pandemic period. It is stated that addictions such as hygiene and smoking is formed or increased mostly in all age groups as a result of pandemic. For group 1, 64% of the participants thought that they have new kind of addictions or their existing addictions were getting serious. This value for group 2 is 58% and for group 3 it is 65%. As all we know, there can be other pandemic conditions we have to confront with them in our future. These projects and also others which are focused on effects of COVID-19 on individuals can help us to be ready for that challenging phase. Also, we can develop new projects which their questions are more specific to certain type of diseases can help us to be ready for that phase. So that's all I want to share with you today. Thank you for listening and thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Ezgi, for your presentation. And I also, actually, I invite Çağdaş Kaya and Aile Heydari for their closing speech right now.
Okay. Dear participants, we have come to the end of this year's Maltepe University International Student Congress, MEDNS 2022. And we are proud to say that we had 33 participants from 5 different countries all around the world this year in this hot pandemic. As the co-presidents of this Congress, we offer our gratitude to Mr. Hüseyin Şimşek, the founder of the Maltepe University, to Professor Şahin Karasar, Rector of the Maltepe University, Professor Betül Çotuk Söken, Vice Rector of Maltepe University, and the General Coordinator of MEDNS 2022. Our special thanks and regards to Professor Dr. Selim Nalbant, Assistant Professor Pınar Buket Thomas, Assistant Professor Çağrı Öner for supporting us through all of this hard work. And many thanks to our great team, Gülay Keskin, Nimet Ece 52, Özge Durmuş, Selin Yıldız, Eylül Özkeser, Sena Yılmaz, and Aslıhan Örs. The efforts of our friends are so valuable.
Human and health in the evolving world has great importance in today's society. We have discussed a very broad topic which needs to be evaluated from different perspectives, like the increase in the prevalence of existing chronic diseases, complex diseases such as cancer, mental illness, and the biggest threat of the 21st century, COVID-19. The evolving world, in the evolving world, novel and various diseases have been emerging. These emerging diseases should only be threatened by the novel innovations of both general, surgical, and basic medical sciences. As we have seen in COVID-19 pandemic, in this Congress, we have pointed out how health affects people in our changing world. This Congress is a platform where students share their knowledge and experience on human and health in the evolving world. Various presentations with different perspectives have been presented in MEDNS 2022. Finally, we would like to thank everyone who joined us today. We would like to wish all the participants health and happiness. It was an honor to have you all, and have a great time, and see you in future MEDNS Congress.
This is the place to find yourself.
Istanbul offers great universities and the lifestyle is really amazing here.
So I live at the dorms at Maltepe University and I'm really happy with it. There's a cleaning service every few days and then there's the library nearby which is open 24/7.
My first impression when I came was like, it's huge. You have everything in one place.
When you first come to Maltepe University, you don't know where what is and you're like, oh my God, I need help. Guess what? You're not alone. There is the international office people over there. They're like family. They're very helpful and they're always there for you.
Istanbul is the perfect mixture between ancient and modern. Coming into this city helps me discover myself, learn about so many different cultures, learning about the world, which will help me in writing future books.
At Maltepe University, we have a lot of research centers. Because of that, we have the ability to participate in a lot of international projects.
Here at Maltepe University, the education consists of both practical and theoretical. We get the opportunity to practice everything we learn in class in real life. So after we graduate, we have a degree and we can work all over the world.
People come to Istanbul all the time, but what they really miss when they visit are the antique shops, which contain thousands of years of memories and also a thread of the modern future.
I like to use every minute and just get out and hop on the ferry and just go from the Asian side to the European side and just enjoy the wonderful weather with the wonderful Bosphorus behind me and just enjoying the moment of Istanbul.
Istanbul is very beautiful with great culture.
This city is the symbol of diversity. Come and study at Maltepe University.
Come here and feel like you're home.